Okay, we should be streaming now. So this is our first YouTube live, and we're going to continue to run with these on a regular basis. So we're looking at the euro dollar 30-minute time frame for the possibility of some kind of a reversal here, but I think it's just a little bit too early right now. There's a lot of information crossing news wires and different websites in anticipation of some meetings and some things that are going on regarding Brexit. It's probably going to have an impact, a pretty considerable impact here on the euro dollar as well. Lately, it hasn't been as dramatic. Not that it doesn't have an impact, but I think that this time we're getting really close to where we can see some pretty wild spikes, and I just don't want to be on the wrong side of that. So normally at these levels, I'd be looking for a possible reversal. A lot of divergence here in the indicators. This is the template, and the template that I use incorporating all three indicators for if you include the Bollinger Bands. But for the reversal pattern that I use, the reversal technique, I'm using the Woody CCI indicator %B and bandwidth along with the Bollinger Bands. I'm going to switch through the and toggle back and forth between the 30-minute and the 1 hour chart. 30-minute usually will give me a little early advance warning, like a heads up. And then I could sort of anticipate the possibility of looking for that candle pattern there. So this is something that looks like a fade the double zero. Now, I don't trade all fade the double zero setups when they develop. They don't always work. So I sort of put my own twist on it years ago, incorporating, again, these indicators to signal the possibility of a reversal rather than just looking at price moving through the double zero levels. So I was looking for ways to improve that technique, that strategy, to minimize some of the chances of a higher risk trade with that fade the double zero strategy. So far, I don't have it yet. I don't have the setup, the technical setup just yet. But again, the market's waiting for any piece of news to come out that's going to have an impact here. It could be in the next hour. It could be in the next 20 minutes. It could be in the next 3 hours. Whatever the case is, there's the possibility that it could be a really strong move, and that's what we're looking for here. And I just don't want to be on the wrong side of that, as I've said a couple of times. This is the pound dollar 30-minute time frame. It looks like it's just going to continue to float or drop a little bit lower. However, again, based on the news and whatever the comment is, if it's confirmed, we could see a pretty sharp retracement in the opposite direction. I don't know how likely that is, and it really doesn't matter to me at this point either way. I just need that confirmation so that I can trade it. I don't want to anticipate and guess and then be on the wrong side of that, because trying to get out of a trade or getting stopped out quickly like that is just not something that I care to do at this point. It's just going to be a lot easier to wait for that confirmed data or that report or statement. As long as it's confirmed, as long as it's validated that somebody actually made that comment, we could probably trade it if it's not going to be offset with anything else a few minutes later. Another comment that would be maybe changing the direction in opposite direction. So there was a few comments this morning, and I talk about this quite a bit when we go through stages like this, especially like the Greece crisis, global financial meltdown, whatever the crisis is. There's always the chance that there's people out there that will print and release false statements and rumors that certain officials made or stated. And they're fabricated, totally fabricated, just an opportunity for these people to trade maybe a quick 40, 60 pip scalp or trading opportunity in one direction, 15 points, the market might react to it. Some days it works, some days it doesn't. And I'm not saying that obviously every report is like that, but when they're unconfirmed, obviously somebody's releasing that information and trying to take advantage of an opportunity. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. We saw that happen with the Greece crisis back in 2015. We were trading at 9 o'clock New York time. Right at 9 o'clock, the euro dollar spiked, went about 60, 70 pips. And 10 minutes later, the whole thing was reversed and dropped down the opposite direction. It was all because somebody had released a report that an official from Greece made a comment, and the market reacted to it. And then somebody, I guess news agencies, tried to confirm with his office if he actually made that comment. He said no. So the whole trade unwinded and went the opposite direction. And a lot of people that aren't prepared for that kind of action, all they see is that price moves up and then moves down. So if they chase it, the trade unravels 10 minutes later. They don't know why. And very often in a situation like that, that's exactly what's happening. Very often, not always, but in some situations like that, when you just don't understand it, it's a big move, something's going on. So if you have the ability to put together those news sources so that you can identify it and be aware of it, you can either stay out of it or trade it safely, or just wait until the after effect. If it's a comment and it's not validated, wait for that comment to be validated, and then you're more likely to trade a safer trade. So right now I'm on hold. I'm not doing anything right now. Obviously, the next safest trade is going to be something like the dollar yen. We did this yesterday. Just traded it right to that final target on that breakout. But right now it's just moving sideways and I'm not doing anything with it. But it doesn't mean that I won't get a trade opportunity sometime today. It's possible. So I'll be waiting for that as well. So that's the update here. I'm going to go ahead and cut off and go back into the chat room and keep looking for trades. All these trades I execute with the trade copier. If you're interested in getting some of these trades executed for you, it's manual, or I'm sorry, automated. You don't have to do any manual trading. The trade copier is basically me trading for you. You can go to bestforextradecopier.com, and then I've got a special offer for everybody on the purchase page.